Hello there, and hello to you too. Vlogging with Gibster, back for new episodes of the Ugalki region, in which I will eventually come up with a rhyme for that, since it's what I used to do for the new Galar series. Well, Pokemon the Alternate Take. Speaking of Pokemon the Alternate Take, you guys can check that out on my Instagram, where I am redoing the entire thing. Of course, with a bunch of other drawings as well, like my Pokemon stuff, so it isn't like one every day, but there should be an entire evolution line redesigned every single week. The next one is the Pidgey line, which I have great plans for. But today we do not go over Pokemon redesigns, instead we go over some of our own, and today I will be introducing 4 Pokemon which fit 2 different unused type combinations, one of them being an evolution line of 3, and another being a cross-gen evolution, but not for an official Pokemon. Why don't we get right onto it? So, skipping over the hinted evolution for a Glotia, we move on to away from the regional bird and instead onto the regional bug. Now, some of you guys may recognize this little critter. Well, maybe, since it got a redesign. However, it still remains close, even having the same pose. However, I think it looks so much better. This is Nymphus, and unlike the last one, this is a redesign of each member of the line and doesn't replace any characters whatsoever. However, the nighttime form has been removed. So this is Nymphus, which is based on Mantis nymphs, which are, of course, basically a baby mantis. Now, a nymph, there's 2 types of nymphs, which one of them may link into Greek mythology. If only that was the place that this region was based on. Oh wait, it is. But first of all, the one that I'm talking about is those are basically baby versions of bugs that don't go through metamorphoses. Like, for example, if you think of a butterfly, it starts as a caterpillar, which is the larval stage, then it goes into the pupa stage, which is the cocoon, and then the butterfly stage, which I can't remember what that one's actually called. However, there are some bugs that, like other animals, stay the same, they just get bigger, and that is a mantis, and the babies are known as nymphs. And of course I said that one was in Greek mythology, and that may link to that later, and maybe also its typing as well, which will link to that as well, but I will indeed get to that later. So this is Nymphus, which of course has the word nymph in there, and Olympus as well, I don't know why. Now, of course, this was made a while ago, so can't remember the names of them. Of course, the newer names I would remember, but yeah, so would you guys like to see the unused typing that this Pokemon uses? So, of course, it's a bug type. Can you guys think of any bug type that could possibly have an unused type combination? May I introduce the first bug and dark type of the region, and as I said, I will reveal why it's bug and dark type later. So this is the Nymph Pokemon, and its dex entry goes as such. Nymphus are trained by Drantimus to hunt by the time it's 1 month old. It's recorded that Nymphus is able to produce a paralytic poison with its saliva that Drantimus coat their arrows in. It's Pokemon number 15, and at level 16, at level 6, it will evolve into Onukritis, which is still the same. Its tail getting a weird shape there with a dent in it. Now, that dent is inspired by the moon in the fact that it is basically a ball with lots of dents and craters in it. Of course, it has 2 very big ones, and when viewed from the side, it almost looks like a classic crescent moon shape, which will lead into that later. So, of course, Onukritis looking more like a final stage than I would have wanted. However, it does certainly look better than the last one, which was more humanoid, which I honestly wasn't happy with a humanoid bug type regional bug Pokemon. And it has those little dreads, I guess. I think that's what they are, like dreads. Well, I refer to them as tentacles in Drantimus Pokedex entry. So why don't we go over Onocritices? So yet again, it is bug and dark type, but it is now classified as the Huntress Pokemon. And its dex entry goes as such. Onocritus are able to assassinate any target without any trace. They are able to produce a gas that can be used as a smokescreen, which of course, smokescreen is a move that can work now, that becomes more useful with more training. That will lead into a later thing in the Drantimus Pokedex entry. They help a Drantimus train a whole eclipse of Onymphus. So it's usually a pack led by one Drantimus. It has a couple of Onocritus in it, and it does have Onymphus. Now, by the way, these are all female. So that's not exactly how they make more Onymphus. However, the group of any of these species, so an eclipse, which is of course an eclipse of Onymphus, which is of course a reference to lunar eclipses, the moon stuff. Speaking of lunar eclipses, why don't we go to the form that is most powered by the moon? This is Drantimist. Now, I know it looks crazy, especially with the weird arm over there. I guess I'll have to explain that. And of course, its tail now being a moon shape with a glowing blue. Well, not really. It doesn't really have a glowing effect. Imagine it does. And of course, it's down to one ponytail tentacle there, and there's a stem coming out of that claw. Or, sorry, scythe, not claw. Well, technically, it kind of is a claw, and then it's just there. And then what appears to be an arrowhead there. I guess I will just have to elaborate with the dex entry. So this is the Huntress Pokemon Drantimist. When combining their gas with their tentacle secretion, it creates an illusion that shows the opponent's perfect mate. If only that led into some sort of Greek mythology type deal, leading to the perfect distraction and most unexpected attack, because you know how aroused people can get, and I'm sure Pokemon would be the same. Anyway, when their tattoos glow, it means the following night will be a full moon and will then be at their most powerful. By splitting their scythes, they can create a bow in which they use their great archer skills against the few who see past the illusion. Their skills are rivaled only by Decidueye, Pokemon number 17, and it gets to Drantimus by getting an Onocritus to level 11. Now there is one more moon-related Pokemon. This one's more related to space in general, and I specifically make this report because this was an engineered Pokemon by, I forgot his name. It's somewhere in the Earth Core region. Point is, I was supposed to make a full report, and my files got corrupted, so I guess this will just have to do for just now. So it was reported that in Earth Core, a Pokemon called Miskid was engineered there, and it had unstable DNA, just like Eevee. And so I wanted to study it, so me and my research team just went over there and brought it just over to the Ugalki region, since that's where all the lab equipment is. So we just went over there. We even met with the people who engineered it, and well, it was really weird. It just evolved. Now, I was shown the possible evolutions by the creator of Miskids themselves, but this doesn't resemble any evolution that they've shown. In fact, all the evolutions seem to be a monotype. This one has two types, as far is its DNA shows, and even has these thin wrappings. So I've created a dex entry just now with the little information that I have about them. So this is sent a Stroner. It's fairy and fighting type, and it's the crazy racer Pokemon. Stroner are wise and have a great knowledge in astronomy and combat styles. However, they can be very kooky and dense. They are some of the fastest Pokemon around, the top speed being around 50 miles per hour. Their enlarged head and tail produce thin, transparent ribbons that are a remnant from its creation that is connected to a great flying type of ancient past. The DNA seems subtly similar to fossils that we'd found of this Pokemon, and it seems to closely related, like as if this Pokemon's looming energy somehow binded to Miskid and caused it to evolve into Stroner. However, it seems like the way it does that is by becoming like great friends with the Pokemon. In fact, I went to get Miskid over a year ago and it evolved. It just seemed weird. I'll do more research and hopefully this video does get to the Earth Korean scientist. Still can't remember his name, god damn it. But anyway, yeah, I hope you can do some more research on this, and maybe you could come over and try check mine out to even do more research. But Stroner is seemingly weird, and it's weird how it has two types unlike its evolutions, yet it seems to look the most like its pre-evolution. I'll let you decide. But for the other people watching this entry log, are any of these Pokemon being added to your team?